Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 7 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter probability. The lessons we are going to cover today are the lessons we're going to cover today are compound events, find the number of outcomes, identify independent and dependent events, probability of independent and dependent events, and then factorials. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I am on grade 7 math. The chapter we are on right now is probability. Let's just start with the lesson that is compound events, find the number of outcomes. So let's just start with the lesson. The first thing you need to know is the what is the compound event. Compound event means when you have more than one event, then that would be the compound events, right? You pick a marble and pick a card. How many outcomes are possible? So there are two different. So you are given with two different outcomes. One is the marble. You have one, two, three, four, five marbles and three of the cards. You need to calculate the total outcomes. So when you are given with the compound events are more than one event. You have to calculate the total outcomes by multiplying the outcomes of each unit, each event. For this outcome you have for this event you have five outcomes. For this event you have three. So 5 times 3 is 15. That means the total outcomes for the event is 15, right? Let's just start with the test questions. You pick a card and flip the coin. How many outcomes are possible? You have one, two, three, four, five, six cards you are given, right? The outcomes for the cards is six, and the outcomes for the coin is two. You have head and tail, so you have to do six times two. So which is the correct option? That is six times two equals 12. Option number one is the correct option. 24 it is. For the first event, you have six outcomes, and for the second event, you have four outcomes. So 6 times 4 is 24. So the total outcomes are 24. You pick a marble and spin the spinner. How many outcomes are possible? So you have seven marbles, right? And four outcomes on the spinner. So 7 times 4 is 7 times 4 is 28. Option number 1 is the correct option. You flip a coin and pick a marble. How many outcomes are possible? So you have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven marbles, right? And when you flip a coin, you have only two outcomes. You have to do 7 times 2, so that is 14. That means the total outcomes are 14. So whenever you have to calculate the outcomes for the compound event, you have to multiply their all possible outcomes, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next one is identify independent and dependent events. Let's just start with the lesson. Brain pick a marble at random and then put it back and then pick another marble at random. Are these two events dependent or independent? Okay, so he pick a marble and keep it back, right? Every time when you are going to pick the marble, you have same four marbles because he pick a marble and then keep it back. If for the first time and if all the times the outcomes are same, then that means they are the independent events, right? The correct option is independent events. Let's just start with the test questions. A school counselor is looking over a pile of class request forms. One form requests weight training as an elective, another form requests ceramics. Are these two events dependent or independent? They are the independent events, right? The correct option is independent events. Because every time you don't have whatever request they are written, they are the independent events. A Dakota buys a sculpture at an art show featuring one of a kind art. A few minutes later, Kaylee comes to the same art show to buy a sculpture too. Are these two events dependent or independent? So, which is the correct option? They are the dependent events. Why? Because Dakota came first, right? And he buy one of the sculpture, right? But when Kelly came, he have one less events than Dakota, right? Because one of the art is with Dakota, right? Now Kelly has one less options than Dakota. They are the dependent events. Breen picks a marble at random and put it back, and then pick again marble at random. Are these two events dependent or independent? They are the independent events because every time he pick a marble and then keep it back, right? So every time you have four marbles whenever you are going to pick a marble and he have only the same four marbles, so that is the independent event. Victor picks a card at random. Without putting the first card back, he picks a second card at random. Are these two events dependent or independent, which is the correct option? They are the dependent events. Why? When Victor is going to pick a card for the first time, he have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven cards, right? Now he, without putting the first card back, he have now one card he already picked. Now he have six outcomes, right? So every time he has one less card, so then they are the dependent events because every time the outcomes are different, so they are the dependent events. In history class, Monica has to select a historical figure to dress up as. The Boni will select one, two. There are no repeats allowed. Are these even dependent or independent? Dependent events, they are right. On the patio of Brennan's Pizzeria, the Atkinson family decides on a type of pizza to order. In the back of the restaurant, a group of friends also choose a pizza to order. Are these two events dependent or independent? Which is the correct option? They are the independent events. The correct option is independent events. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is probability of independent and dependent events. You pick a marble at random without putting the first marble back. You pick a second marble at random. What is the probability of yellow and brown? Okay, so the probability of yellow and brown. When he is going to pick the yellow marble, that is the first time. He have one, two, three, three out of five. That is the probability of yellow. Now he didn't put the first marble back. He is going to pick the brown. He have now one, two, three, four options, and one of them is marble. You have to calculate the probability of yellow and blue, multiply them by 5 times 1 by 4, that is 3 by 20. So the probability of yellow and blue is 3 by 20. They are the dependent events because first time you have 5 marbles, but second time you have one less marble. So the correct option is 3 by 20. You need to calculate the answer in the percent 100, that is 15%. Let's just start with the test questions. You pick a card at random, put it back, and then pick another card at random. 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. What is the probability of even and the probability of less than 5? The first thing is probability of even. They are the independent events because you put it back, right? Even numbers are 2 out of 4. And the probability of less than 5 is you have three numbers, they are less than 5, that is 3 out of 4. Multiply both the probabilities. 3 times 2 is 6 and 4 times 4 is 16. So that is 2 times 3 is 6 and 2 times 8 is 16. That is 3 by 8. The correct option is 3 over 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. You pick a card at random. Without putting the first card back, you pick a second card at random. What is the probability of red and blue? The probability of red, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 3 out of 5. You without putting, you haven't put the first card back. Now probability of blue is this one. You first time picked, you didn't keep it back. You have now 4 cards, 2 of them are red, that is 2 by 4. Probability of red and blue is 3 by 5 times 2 by 4. You need to write down the answer in percentage form. 20 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30, that is 30%. The correct option is 30%. You roll a six-sided die. The probability of odd and the probability of even is 50%. Half of the numbers are even and half of the numbers are odd on the dice, right? So that is 50%. And the events on the die and spinner are always independent events. When you convert the answer into percentage form, that is 25%. You pick a marble at random. Without putting the first marble back, you pick a second marble at random. What is the probability of red and white? So you didn't put the first marble back, right? Now you have 6 marbles. That is 5 over 21. You spin the spinner twice. Probability of orange is 4 out of 7. So that is the spinners, the events on the spinner are always independent events. So again, you have 4 out of 7. The correct option is 16 over 49. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Factorials. A whole number followed by an exclamation mark is called the factorial. To evaluate a factorial, multiply all the whole numbers between 1 and the given number. For example, here you are given 4 factorial. This sign is exclamation mark that and represents the factorial. So you have to calculate the factorial. You have to multiply all the numbers between 1 and 4, right? 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, that is 24. The correct option is 24. Again, you have 4 factorial. You have to do 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is the correct option. That is 24. The correct option is 24. The next one is 3 factorial. So, which is the correct option? You have to multiply all the numbers between 1 and the given number. So, you have 1 times 2 times 3. So, the correct option is the correct option is 6. 2 factorial, which is the correct option? 2 factorial is 2. The correct option is 2. 5 factorial you have to do. 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5. So which is the correct option? That is 120. Option number 1 is the correct option. Four factorial, which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 48. Oh, 24 it is. Five factorial, which is the correct option? That is 120. Option number 1 is the correct option. Two factorial, which is the correct option? Two factorial is 2. The correct option is 2. Four factorial. Four factorial. to reject the option. That example